I want to build a building, and the building needs to be square. What I mean by that is you can measure from the outside post to the outside post to the outside post, but if it's not square, nothing's going to fit. Plywood's not going to fit, boards are not going to fit, because it's going to be, we could say, wonky jawed. And by measuring from the inside point to the inside point on this one, that is roughly about 58.5 inches there. So from the inside point to the inside point here is just about 58.5 inches. So if the square, if both sides measuring crossways, like a big X in the middle, if the points on the ends of that X on one side and the other are the same, that's square. That's how you square a building. When you're building a building, you want it to be square. And what I mean by that is you can measure the distance between that post and that post and make it the same distance to this post and that post. But if this post is too far to the left or too far to the right, it won't be square. And just to give you an idea of how it matters, if you threw down a piece of plywood on a piece that's not square, then one side of the plywood would fit and the other side would run off. It wouldn't fit. Now, normally I use a long tape measure. I pull from the same point on each one of those to the same point here. I didn't have a tape measure that would hook onto this comfortably. So what I did instead is I laid out two of these, and I'm just going to double check this one and make sure it should be. See that point's a little in because of the shape of that. So I've laid off two of these, and then I've measured from the inside, because it's the inside that's touching over there, to the inside of this board. Now I could just as well do the outside, as long as the two sides are the same. That's basically 58.25 to 58.5. And if I do the same thing over here, I'm just using these long pieces to kind of like a little cheater, since I don't have a place to hook a tape measure up there. So to the inside of this is also 58.25 to 58.5. So if I dig my hole there and there, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stub. I'm going to drive a stub into the ground just to mark that spot. So I'll take this here. And by the way, you'll notice this piece laying here. This piece is the same distance as the distance between those two pieces. That's why it's laying there, because that's the other part of this equation that has to come into play. So I'm going to drive a stub in the ground right pretty much here in the middle, and the same thing over there, and that's where I'll dig my hole. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. I should call this the one-handed camera operating do-it-yourself guy.